Greetings and bienvenue, Midnight Crew. Thank you for returning to this broadcast, and welcome to new viewers joining us for the first time. If you like a video, then feel free to subscribe.
All right. Share your best UFO and alien encounter stories. Anything goes. B-15. Be out camping at a lake. Sun is setting. Everyone else sleeping. It has been a long day. I cannot sleep, so I decide to do a little fishing. Look up. Small red ball up in sky. Laugh out loud what? Squint at it. It is shiny, and very red. Like a metallic red. Sort of like Iron Man. It is insanely high up. Maybe as high as a jet. It is as fast or faster than one. Run inside to tell Dad. It is gone by the time we get out.
Anyone want to share their strange alien or UFO stories? I've been seeing too many unexplainable things in the sky, especially in the past year. I'd like to share a few of these stories with you all and hear your stories. I'm not a gullible dumbass, but I've witnessed this shit myself, so I do have an open mind to this kind of stuff. A few months ago, around 2 a.m., driving around town alone, end up in an undeveloped rich neighborhood, on a hill that overlooks most of the city. Look out the passenger window and see a bright light in the sky. Think nothing of it, bright star, maybe a planet. Make a right turn. Light is now directly ahead. Look at it again. Looks like it is moving, but no strobe light, huh? Nothing better to do. Quickly loop around to the road at the top of the hill. Park, turn off the engine, lock doors, laugh out loud, watch. The light is orange, solid, slowly moving toward the front of my windshield. Watch closely. Steadily moving until it is in my front view. Going. It stops. What? It drops a light, a smaller white light which quickly disappears. Did I just see that? As if it did not even stop, it accelerates back up to speed. Nothing for a few seconds, just moving. Then another small white light detaches and drops from it as it moves. Holy shit. Then another and another. All four of the small lights drop from the craft and disappear. No way they were flares. I have seen flares. The light keeps moving steadily, now toward the left of my windshield. After a good 10 to 20 seconds, it accelerates, at least twice the speed as before without lagging at all. As it moves, it quickly dims to a white color, fades out, and disappears. There is no face to portray my face at that time. Just what? No bullshit, no exaggerating, wasn't on any drugs or anything like that. Another one. The first time I had a UFO experience. Again, absolutely no BS. When I was a little kid, maybe 10-ish. 4th of July. In my backyard with the family lighting off fireworks. This solid bright red light flies directly over our house. Do not think much of it. We see it again a little while later. Notice it is flying real slow, pretty low, but not making any noise or anything. We keep seeing it, like it is circling the town or something. Flying really damn slow. My dad is already tripping balls about it. He worked on fighter jets at the time. He said no way it is a plane. Absolutely no sound from it and no strobe light. All planes legally have to have at least one strobe. This thing was flying all around the sky and we only saw one bright red solid light on it. At least an hour after we first saw it and it is still flying around. We keep seeing it. Finally, my dad calls the local police. They say they have already gotten tons of calls about a red light in the sky and they are investigating. A little while later, the light is pretty much lingering in our view still. Hear a helicopter, see it come above the tree line hauling ass approaching the light. We assumed it was a police chopper. We can see everything now. As it gets closer, the light seems to start moving away from it toward our left. The helicopter is still hauling ass toward it. We can see it pointing a spotlight up at it, but still cannot see it. No outline or anything. The light seems to slow down, and the helicopter starts to catch up to it. Suddenly, these fuckers must have pressed warp speed or some shit, 'cause this thing jets off into space. I mean, the light fades from bright red to orange, then to white, gray, then disappears. All in probably less than 10 seconds. And my whole family saw the whole thing. I still have no explanation for it. After it disappeared, the chopper just turned around and went back the direction it came from. I'll never forget it. Shit was crazy.
About a year ago, when I first moved into my current house, I was sleeping on the couch in the living room because I hadn't gotten an actual bed yet for my bedroom. I woke up in the middle of the night to a shuffling sound, so I turned over to see what it was. There stood a tall and lanky humanoid standing about 4 feet from the couch looking down at me. I mean, this fucker was tall. It was almost hitting its head on the ceiling fan. I couldn't make out any facial features as it was too dark in the room. So it's standing there looking at me, then crouches down to get closer and points its finger at me. I immediately feel like I'm being shocked by electricity. I'm violently shaking and yelling out in pain, unable to directly move any part of my body, and then everything just blacks out. I wake up in the morning completely dehydrated and still trembling. It took a good hour or so for me to even be able to climb off the couch to eat and drink something. When I finally did eat something, I got sick to my stomach shortly afterwards and puked it all right back up. Ended up just laying on the couch for the day, drifting in and out of sleep. I don't think I've ever felt so fatigued in my entire life more than I did that day.
I was about 11 years old when I saw it. I'll tell you about it. I still am not sure what we saw, but it was definitely something. I live in Britain, and for summer at my primary school, we had an event called Kai Li. This was basically where people get together, have a barbecue, play music, and partake in games and dancing, have a merry old time, and all that old world chic. So me and some friends were messing around, playing tag or hide and seek or something, and we decided to run about on the school's playing field. The field was rather big, and at the bottom, in the corner, was a small woodland area, which was revered as the best place in the entire school. We used to go in there and have army battles with pine cones, with multiple teams and so on, but we were not usually allowed to go into this area for health and safety reasons or something. Children probably got injured by pine cones. Anyway, we didn't go into the woods this night because it would be pitch black in there, and it's usually pretty creepy in daylight as it is. So we were standing there, 3 of us, chatting about going into the woods, and who is a coward and who isn't, and I saw something, like a white silhouette just, walking slowly into the woods. It was no man, it was tall, gangly, and the arms and legs were way out of proportion. The head was huge. I pointed this out to my friends, and we immediately started asking each other what the fuck it was. Then someone said it was an alien, and we ran the hell out of there and told everyone. No one believed us. So the rumors started flying through the school. For weeks after, kids would ask what we saw, and we described it to them. The school and teachers were quick to remind us that it was likely wildcats, or bobcats, or some wild animal, and that we were foolish to think it was something so outlandish. I vividly remember one day the head teacher taking me to one side, getting red in the face, and with a look of absolute desperation telling me, "You did not see an alien." She stared at me in the face for 5 seconds afterwards, with this manic look in her eye. I sheepishly said, "Okay." I heard later in the following weeks that the kids had been telling their parents about it, and apparently a lot of the parents had seen strange lights in the sky that night, and they thought it was fireworks due to the K-Lee. But we thought otherwise. Us 3 knew what we saw. I've since lost contact with the others, and to this day, I'm not sure if what we saw was otherworldly or something a lot more mundane. You decide, because I can't.
Be back in the year 2000, Queensland, Australia. New Year's Eve, throwing firecrackers and shit. Friend says, let us go into the field down the street and set off the sky rockets and bigger stuff. Sure, why not? It is quiet when we get there, like unusually quiet. Start setting stuff up. Friend whispers, "Hey Anon, what the fuck is that?" Both kneeling down in pretty long grass setting up fireworks. Look over to see green glowing things in the distance moving through the grass. It is probably those douche kids down the street with glow sticks. I will scare them, watch. I light a firecracker and throw it into the distance towards the 5 glowing figures. It goes off. Loud noise, kind of like a clothes dryer jamming, and glowing figures instantly turn red and get further away. They fade into the darkness. Holy shit, aliens, bro. You just saved the world joke. 5 seconds of us standing in silence, drop everything and fucking leg it home and hide. The moon was a reddish orange that night. It was odd.
Be me. Live in coastal Northern California. Really small town. Our town is north of San Francisco, and there is no bay, just a small point. Out at a friend's house one night. 2009. At the cliffs by the ocean. Should have been a bright moonlit night, but clouds make it really patchy. Not normal fog though, just overcast. Looking over the ocean. Suddenly a large whirring noise. Like huge whirring noise, really low. Sounds like many large propellers or something combined with like large mechanical groaning, like when a ship is moving. Friend and I started to get nervous. We were exposed, so we moved a little back from the edge of the cliff. All of a sudden, we see some huge shadow moving over the ocean. It is in the distance, but you can tell it is moving fast. No lights, just a huge, fast, large shadow. Looks roughly elliptical in shape. We are freaking out. It is moving along the coast and nearer as well. We think we see the water moving, really turbulent out there. The sound is building. The thing starts shaking back and forth out there, but then we realize that it is spinning in circles. The sound cut out when it started spinning, but the sound took a little time to reach us. The circles are getting tighter and tighter, and the humming whir starts up again, low this time. This thing is fairly close to the shore now, but still way too far to see anything in the night. It looks like it is spinning really fast now. All of a sudden, the clouds start to clear around it, and moonlight starts coming in. The shape is still black. I think it must have just been very dark. The whining sound almost hurts our bones. We are literally shaking at this point, wondering if we should run. I am pretty sure I am going to die. The air feels staticky. All of a sudden, the thing disappears. Huge water crashing sound. I'm pretty sure it went straight up, but I could not tell. It was too fast. Maybe it just disappeared. No more humming. We are just standing there. After about 2 minutes, huge waves start to hit the shore below us. We can hear them. They are crashing against the shore. Whatever it was, it must have left some massive ripples. Never knew what it was. No one believed us. Still scared of the ocean.
2001, B20. Around 11 p.m., goes outside with my girlfriend for a smoke. Blah, blah, blah. Girlfriend says, "What the fuck is that?" I look across the road and see an orange ball of light on the ground, pulsating. Probably a street light that has fallen. Who gives a fuck? Girlfriend says, "No, look, it is moving." It starts slowly rising and pulsating. I squint at it, can't see the outline. It is a fucking Chinese lantern. Keep squinting at it. Wait, that ain't no fucking Chinese lantern. The ball of light stops dead about 30 feet up and just hangs there still. No, that definitely ain't no Chinese lantern. The thing sat there for around 2 minutes. Did not move an inch, just planted there in midair. Suddenly, it started moving south in a straight line at about 20 to 30 miles per hour. What the fuck? After a minute, it was gone over the horizon. Whatever it was either being controlled or sentient. It moved in straight lines and took off with immediate speed, no buildup of acceleration. It went from 0 to 20 in 1 second. Definitely was not a fucking Chinese lantern.
On holiday on a boat in the UK in an area called Norfolk Broads, basically all flat with lakes and rivers, where U.S. 8th Air Force was based in World War II, it is eerie at the best of times. Decided to take a walk around dusk with my ex-girlfriend to a village about a mile away to find a pub. This is in 1986. Cutting across an open field with a tree in the distance. See 2 white lights above the tree, but think they are aircraft lights. So what? Keep walking for a couple of minutes. Perspective changes and realize lights are actually hovering over the tree about 25 to 30 yards away. I say to my ex, "Do you see that?" Ex does. Sudden creeping panic or fear. Stop walking and watch for a few seconds. Lights turn away, nothing behind them. It is still daylight. Walk faster out of field into village babbling what the fuck. The first village, all big-ass houses, no pub. Sign says the next village 1 mile, decided to walk there as we need a drink and more people. Eventually find a pub, sit and drink in silence for a couple of hours. Now have to walk back to the boat in the dark, walking very fast. Lane pitch black. Feel something behind. Look round. See first 1, then 2 sets of lights gliding along opposite sides of the valley we are walking down, about 200 yards away, just over the height of trees, very bright, almost like car headlights. No noise at all, seem to glide along unnatural, disappear off down the valley, run staggered back to the boat, both freaked out. Have seen other stuff, lights jumping around in sky, etc., but nothing that close, initially in daylight. Instilled a great sense of fear and dread in both of us.
I like to talk about it. Be me. Be 8. Playing with friends and neighbors in cul-de-sac. Nighttime. Tons of clouds. No stars. Go into the neighbor's house to get sodas for everyone. Just over the tree line, I can see 2 bright red lights illuminating the clouds around them. Ask neighbors what it is. It is just a cell tower. The cell tower has 1 light and is on the other side of the street and blinks, not fades. 2 more lights turn on. Loud sound, like the sound of a bathroom fan turning on. 2 blue lights start to flicker. Crashing sound. Lights turn off immediately. I suspect it flew away at super speed. I ask my neighbor about it sometimes, and I think it scares him. Nobody wants to talk about it but me.
Ex-girlfriend's friend told me this story. One day just mentioned this when I brought up seeing UFO lights in Vegas. He lived with his girlfriend at the time. He woke up because the radio in the living room came on for no reason. It got louder and louder. He got up to turn it off. Doesn't remember getting to the living room, but the next thing he knows, he's sitting at the edge of his bed and the music is off. His girlfriend is still asleep, but stirring awake, asking him, "Who were those people you were talking to?" "I don't know." Wakes up the next morning and asks if she really asked that or if it was a dream. But she said she asked it because she heard him talking to some people for a while. Oh, he also told me this weird story about when he lived in West Texas, I think, in the middle of nowhere pretty much, a small house. The closest neighbor was miles away. He's an only child, but one day his mom interrupts him playing with his toys to tell him some kids from school are at the door asking him to come out. He didn't really have friends, but he's stoked to have someone to play with. Somewhat confused, he goes outside and there are 2 kids, a boy and a girl, wearing what he described as old-style clothing. Brown fabric, I think he said, but like they came out of a boarding school or some shit. Like they were trying to look normal, he said, but he's young and lonely, so he goes, "Y'all want to play?" They say nothing. Just keep looking at him. I think he asked them what their names were, but they just kept looking at him, saying nothing. "I'm gonna get my toys," he said. He runs inside. Is gone for like half a minute and comes running back out so they can play, but they're just gone. He looks down the road both ways and there isn't a soul in sight. He runs around the house thinking they're hiding. West Texas, so not many trees and somewhat bare fields. No one there. Disappointed, he walked inside and asked his mom, "What did they say?" Apparently, they asked for him by name.
One afternoon, when I was younger, I was at my church. As the grown-ups had a budget meeting, I was in charge of keeping the little ones busy. So a friend and I started a movie, and about 20 minutes into the movie, I looked outside a near window. To much of my surprise, I see a circle of green and red lights, not spinning, just kind of gliding across the sky. Slowly, it made its way across the open part of the sky. By saying open, I mean that the other portions of the sky were blocked off. Afraid of being called a liar, I nudged my friend and showed him what I saw. We ran out of the church, and by the time we got out there, the ship had gone where we couldn't see. I slept over his house that night and I was obviously intrigued, so I started looking out his window. I looked across a field just beyond his backyard and saw a red light. Now, I know what you're saying. So what? It's a red light? Well, I'm no stranger to the field. I had ran and played with friends in that field before, and I had never seen a red light before. So I stared at it in wonder, and as I was looking at it, it moved. I could see it get dimmer as if it turned, and it walked like 10 feet. I got scared and backed away from the window and didn't look out it for the rest of the night.
I was in grade 5, supposed to be in grade 6, but I failed a grade. Miramichi, New Brunswick, Canada. We lived in a rural area, lots of forest. I remember having many strange dreams, waking up, puking, eventually depression, and didn't know what was going on. I remember waking up and seeing lights in our old barn on. The doors slamming hard shut, open, shut, bright lights, something strange about them making me not scared but feeling dizzy and sick. Fear came later. Dreams about pyramids, things I had never seen before, didn't understand until I grew older. I remember the migraines in class, being sent to the office for my parents to pick me up. I vividly recall stumbling into the bathroom right across from my parents' room, but it not being the same. It was the only other room I could get to. I would slam on the wall to where my parents' bedroom should be, unable to scream for help. I would just beat on the wall. They didn't hear. I remember trying to make a noose out of clothes hangers, the wire ones, bending them and molding them. I don't know if I ever intended to do anything, but I knew I couldn't take it anymore. One night, my mother had a dream about pyramids, things standing around it, aliens. She was crying to my stepfather in the bedroom. It was late, and I didn't say anything. My stepfather woke up with bleeding ears. I didn't hear much about how it had happened, but I remember him and Mom taking me to my grandparents and talking about something. I stayed at my grandparents until they moved out of the house and to a new home where I eventually moved back in. Haven't told many people this. I recently needed a triple fusion on my foot. The bone degenerated in some very weird way, twisting my foot up, and I've been getting lots of rest staying with my parents for the moment. I'm having the dreams again.
Could you go into more details about the pyramid experiences? I've had these visions too, and they were intense. Mine may have been some kind of metaphoric explanation for something. Not sure. Very intrigued. Could you elaborate some more?
I can. Sorry for taking a while. Just dreams that feel almost like memories, in which I see the pyramids. Like the actual pyramids in Egypt, no idea why. The aliens, or whatever you want to call them, are standing near me like they want me to see, but I don't understand. The aliens are very skinny. They look almost like sick people with bigger heads and eyes. Typical, I know now. But at the time, it was the first time I had seen something like that.
This happened about 3 years ago. Me, late June, daytime around 3 p.m., going for a walk in the hills. This is when shit gets weird. I hear a strange engine sound like a car struggling to start. Definitely not a car. A small patch of forest separates the hillside and my neighborhood. I get disoriented and freaked out easily. The sound was too weird for me to continue my walk. I head back towards the woods. An old guy emerges from the woods. Old guy dressed like he is going to a fancy dinner party or some shit. Cannot ID his accent. Pretty sure he is not American. As he runs past me, he says, "Sorry, my dear man." Linger for a minute watching him run off into the hills. No idea where he thinks he is going. No real civilization for miles beyond the hillside. Walk through the woods at a quick pace, totally freaked out. Go home and eat pizza and drink Dr. Pepper. 2 days pass. At bar with my bros, have a few, tell them what happened. At this point, we have all had quite a few beers, but we can handle our alcohol. Start coming up with theories. Ironically, only one guy mentions aliens. Another thinks the old dude was an escaped convict. 2 other guys convince me that someone was messing with me. Head home around 2 a.m., pass out. Bang on the door jolts me awake at noon. This is when shit gets really creepy. I answer the door. 3 men dressed Will Smith style. "Can I help you?" "We would like to ask you about the incident that occurred 3 days ago." Damn hungover. Takes me a moment to realize what they mean. "Oh, all right." Invite them in. They decline and stand on the doorstep instead.
Not a bit of niceness in any of these people. One on the far left just stands there. The middle one is doing all the talking, and the right one is writing on a notepad. Tell them the whole story. They show me 6 pictures of 6 different men. Recognize one of them and point to him. It is a pic of the old guy. The one talking stares at me for a moment. These guys are total men in black. He removes his sunglasses. This is the part that still gives me bad dreams every once in a while. Dude has no eyelashes. I wince a little. Are you sure you have told me everything? I assure him that I have. 2, 3, let us go. Thank you for your time, Mr. Anon. That face when they found out my name and my address. Never tell weird stories to in real life people again.
I hope that you enjoyed tonight's broadcast. If you enjoyed tonight's story, then please subscribe to the channel as more Greentext will appear daily. A new broadcast will appear when the clock strikes midnight Central Time.